What if I told you that one small driving habit you've had for years could cost you thousands of dollars in 2026, or even your license? This year, road rules across Australia are tightening, penalties are rising, and enforcement is becoming smarter than ever. Cameras are more advanced, fines are steeper, and demerit point thresholds are hitting drivers harder. If you drive even once a week, what's changing in 2026 could directly affect you. Welcome back to Centrelink Compass AU. Today we're breaking down Driving Safely in Australia 2026 and the new traffic law updates and fines you absolutely need to understand. Whether you're a full-time commuter, a pensioner driving occasionally, a ride-share driver, or a P-plater just starting out, this is one update you cannot afford to ignore. Let's start with the big picture. Across states and territories, governments are doubling down on road safety. The focus in 2026 is simple: reduce fatalities, crack down on distracted driving, and eliminate high-risk behavior. That means stricter enforcement of mobile phone use, harsher speeding penalties, stronger drink and drug driving detection, and increased monitoring of seatbelt compliance. One of the biggest enforcement upgrades in 2026 is mobile phone detection technology. High-resolution AI-powered cameras are now capable of detecting drivers touching or holding their phones, even at traffic lights. It doesn't matter if you're checking a quick message, changing music manually, or glancing at a notification. If the phone is in your hand, you could be fined. Penalties in many states now exceed $1,000, along with significant demerit points. Repeat offenses can push drivers dangerously close to suspension. And here's what many people don't realize: double demerit periods during public holidays are being applied more aggressively. If you're caught using your phone during a long weekend blitz, you could face double the demerit points. That can mean instant license suspension for some drivers. Speeding laws in 2026 are also seeing stricter enforcement. While speed limits themselves may not dramatically change everywhere, enforcement tolerance is tightening. Fixed and mobile speed cameras are operating with reduced grace margins. In practical terms, that means going just a few kilometers over the limit could still result in a fine. Low-range speeding fines may seem minor at first glance, but the cumulative demerit points can add up quickly. High-range speeding offenses are where the real financial shock hits. In several jurisdictions, excessive speeding fines now reach into the thousands. Immediate license suspension periods have also been extended in serious cases. Some drivers caught significantly over the limit can lose their license on the spot, even before a court date. Drink driving remains one of the strictest enforced areas in Australian road law. In 2026, roadside breath testing operations continue to expand. Random breath testing units are more visible and more frequent. Even low-range readings can carry heavy consequences, including fines, demerit points, and in some cases, mandatory interlock devices. For repeat offenders, penalties escalate dramatically. The message is clear: if you're drinking, don't drive. Drug driving detection has also expanded. Roadside saliva testing is becoming more common, and zero-tolerance policies remain in place for certain substances. Drivers should understand that even prescription medications can affect your ability to drive. If a substance impairs your driving and you're involved in an incident, you could face serious legal consequences. Seatbelt enforcement in 2026 is another area of increased scrutiny. Advanced camera systems can now detect not just drivers without seatbelts, but passengers as well. That includes backseat passengers. Fines apply to the driver if passengers are unrestrained, especially children. The penalties are not small, and demerit points can apply. For families, this is particularly important. One moment of neglect can result in a significant financial and legal impact. Now let's talk about school zones and vulnerable road users. Penalties for speeding in school zones remain among the highest relative to standard fines. Enforcement hours are clearly signposted, and drivers are expected to know when reduced speed limits apply. Ignorance is not accepted as a defense. With more children walking and cycling, enforcement officers are paying closer attention to compliance. Cyclist and pedestrian safety laws are also being reinforced. Drivers must maintain minimum passing distances when overtaking cyclists. Failing to leave adequate space can result in fines and demerit points. With urban traffic density increasing, these rules are being monitored closely. Heavy vehicle and rideshare drivers face additional scrutiny in 2026. Fatigue management compliance is a major focus. If you drive professionally, logbook accuracy and rest breaks are essential. Breaches can result in significant penalties, not only for drivers, but also for operators. Now, here's something that often surprises people. Unpaid fines can now lead to serious consequences much faster. In some states, failure to address penalty notices can result in license suspension. That means even if you forget about a fine or ignore it, you could unknowingly be driving while suspended. Driving on a suspended license carries severe penalties, including court appearances and potentially criminal records. Technology is reshaping enforcement overall. Average speed cameras, sometimes called point-to-point cameras, are expanding beyond heavy vehicles in certain areas. These systems calculate your average speed over a distance rather than just at one point. Slowing down at the camera and speeding up afterward won't help. The entire stretch is monitored. For young drivers, especially those on learner and provisional licenses, 2026 remains strict. Lower demerit point thresholds apply. A single serious offense can lead to suspension. Zero alcohol limits apply to many provisional drivers, meaning even a small reading can result in penalties. There is also continued focus on hooning behavior. Dangerous driving, burnouts, and street racing attract severe consequences. Vehicles can be impounded or confiscated in extreme cases. These penalties are designed as strong deterrents. Electric scooters and personal mobility devices are becoming more common in cities. Riders must comply with local regulations regarding helmet use, speed limits, and permitted areas. Fines apply for breaches, and in some cases, insurance implications arise if accidents occur. Now let's talk about insurance implications. Traffic offenses don't just cost you in fines. Accumulated demerit points and serious offenses can increase your insurance premiums significantly. Insurers assess risk, and a poor driving record often translates to higher costs year after year. Another important 2026 focus is distracted driving beyond mobile phones. Eating, grooming, or interacting excessively with in-car screens can also be considered distraction if it impairs control of the vehicle. While not every action results in a fine, police have discretion if your driving is affected. For older drivers, medical fitness to drive remains an important consideration. Regular assessments may be required depending on age and medical conditions. Failing to meet reporting obligations can affect both licensing and insurance. So how do you protect yourself in 2026? First, stay informed. Road laws can vary slightly between states and territories, so check your local transport authority website for the most accurate information. Second, treat every fine seriously. If you believe a fine was issued incorrectly, follow official review processes promptly. Ignoring it only makes things worse. Third, use technology responsibly. If you need navigation, set it before driving. Use hands-free features legally and avoid physical interaction with devices. Fourth, manage your speed consistently. Don't rely on slowing down only when you see a camera. Maintain safe speeds at all times. Fifth, understand your demerit point balance. Many drivers only realize they're close to suspension when it's too late. Driving is a privilege, not a right. In 2026, authorities are making it very clear that road safety comes first. While some drivers see fines as revenue-raising, the official aim is reducing injuries and fatalities. The safest strategy isn't to learn how to avoid detection. It's to adopt habits that make detection irrelevant. Imagine the peace of mind that comes from knowing you're fully compliant. No anxiety about hidden cameras, no fear of checking the mailbox, no shock suspension notice, just confident, responsible driving. At Centrelink Compass AU, we know that financial pressure is real. Rising fines can hit hard, especially for families and pensioners managing tight budgets. That's why prevention is powerful. Avoiding one major fine could save you thousands. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure you subscribe to Centrelink Compass AU. We bring you clear, practical updates that affect everyday Australians, from payments and policies to road rules and legal changes. Share this video with someone who drives daily. It could save them from an expensive mistake. And let me know in the comments, have you noticed stricter enforcement in your area this year? Drive safe, stay alert, respect the rules, and protect your license in 2026. I'll see you in the next update right here on Centrelink Compass AU.